Hello to all astrology lovers. In this video, we will talk about the full moon in Taurus, which will occur on November 15th, 2024 at 11:28 p.m. We are expecting a full moon in Taurus at the 24th degree. This full moon, of course, has its own peculiarities, one of which is the presence of retrograde Uranus in Taurus, just 1 degree away from the moon, with Uranus at 26 degrees. Moreover, the moment of the full moon presents a rather ambiguous picture in the sky with some interesting aspects, but let's examine everything in order. First, let me remind you what a full moon is. Of course, it is a quite powerful astrological event when the moon is in opposition to the sun and reaches its full phase, symbolizing a certain culmination, completion, and the release of accumulated energies over a certain period. At the level of our lives, this is a time when we can gain sudden clarity about a situation, the revelation of some hidden aspects of life, internal revelations, or intensified emotions. The full moon is always a rather emotional event, and it often brings to light what previously seemed unnoticed. Of course, it can push us towards certain decisions regarding both personal and professional spheres, the completion of various projects, and the ending of relationships that no longer serve our tasks and life goals. And, of course, during this time, certain tensions may increase, emotions may intensify, conflicts may arise, and there may be a need to reassess some of our internal beliefs, intentions, and desires. Moreover, the energy of the full moon emphasizes the importance of balance in the areas of life defined by the houses of the horoscope and the zodiac signs. It is the full moon that requires us to harmonize a certain area of life between one thing and another, to make a choice between one thing and another, to harmonize. For example, personal life and career, or our own needs and the needs of those around us. And in order to work with the energies of the full moon, to ground these energies, it is very important to be in a conscious state and to consciously control our emotional reactions, because I remind you, the moon is primarily our subconscious. And here the subconscious can give us impulsive actions, impulsive reactions can arise. And of course, we need to find balance during this period between what needs to be released and what needs to be completed or transformed. Various practices such as meditation, gratitude, letting go of all the old and unnecessary, and clearing space help us significantly during this time. Reevaluating and prioritizing our goals and desires in life allows us to ground the energy of the full moon and gain clarity. Now, let's discuss the influence of the zodiac sign on this full moon, which is in Taurus. Of course, the zodiac sign imposes its filter on the energies of this astrological event. And the full moon in Taurus emphasizes themes of stability, comfort, material abundance in our lives, and inner peace. Taurus is an earth sign. It symbolizes stability, resources, and values. And the full moon here raises questions related specifically to financial well-being. A sense of security and harmony in everyday life, meaning this is a period when we can identify our true needs for stability and security. It is a time when we can uncover certain material and emotional attachments that need to be released and eradicated, which hinder our development. Of course, the influence of Taurus makes the energies of the full moon quite slow, but very powerful, capable of creating situations that require our patience and rational approach. And here questions may arise related to financial investments, real estate, and caring for our bodies, because the body is also physical and tangible, or there arises a need to create a cozy space where we live. And of course, the emotions raised by the full moon in Taurus are specifically related to the feeling of comfort and stability. We may feel the need to get rid of what hinders us from realizing this in life is the symbolic Taurus, which is our second house in the horoscope. And of course, this is all about finances, resources, and personal financial resources. It concerns material goods and values, our relationship with the material world, the ability to earn and manage money, and the desire for comfort and security. Additionally, the second house, by the way, is responsible for our self-esteem and the value we bring to this world, our skills, abilities, and some inner qualities. All of this is activated by the full moon in Taurus, these themes. Nevertheless, we also have the ruler of this full moon, which is Venus. Venus is the planet of love, harmony, beauty, and the pleasures of material values in our lives. It governs how we express our feelings, how we form our attachments, how we seek and find joy in life, revealing our tastes, aesthetics, and relationship to comfort. It is responsible for how we interact in personal or business relationships. Moreover, of course, it is about money, financial preferences, and the manner in which we enjoy life's blessings, sometimes even questions of luxury, art, and beauty. All of this is Venus. Venus is currently transiting through the Earth sign of Capricorn, activating themes and energies of stability, maturity, and responsibility, especially in the realm of personal relationships and values. During this period, qualities such as seriousness and dedication are emphasized, along with some structure and organization, and this all manifests in romantic, business, or friendly connections. Venus in Capricorn strives for reliability and security. During this period, we may particularly reflect on the durability and long-term nature of our relationships or financial investments. When Venus is transiting through the zodiac sign of Capricorn, values certainly shift towards pragmatism and quality. Our material expenditures become more thoughtful and are aimed at acquiring more durable and useful items. In relationships, for example, there may be a transition to a more serious level or a complete ending of relationships that do not satisfy us. This involves establishing clear boundaries and expectations. Capricorn is generally associated with career and social status. Venus here can stimulate an additional desire to achieve success specifically in professional activities, to create a solid reputation, and to build harmonious business connections. Now let's consider the symbolism of the degrees of Taurus in which this full moon occurs. The 24th degree of Taurus is a symbol and image represented in the form of a fiercely galloping Indian warrior who has human scalps on his belt. Such an interesting picture. And the key, the interpretation of this symbol, lies in the fact that we manifest some aggression of our instincts when we fight for some earthly basis of action, for a physical and tangible manifestation of something in our lives. To be continued. And in mythology, in early America, the Indian represents a savage who is closely connected to nature, lives with nature, and remains somewhat subject to, guided by primal human instincts. In modern times, the manifestation of these instincts can sometimes occur and lead to some violence. That is, some of our awareness may be turned off here and only instincts are at work. And the symbol implies a certain cruelty and aggressiveness as the foundation of human nature. At the level of emotions, at the level of a certain culture, that is, this degree shows us that even in our contemporary civilized time, we can indeed believe that instincts and attachments defined in our culture can generate some violence and conflict. And we can emotionally believe that violence is capable of protecting our values and our identity. This is demonstrated to us by the 24th degree. But if we return to the new moon in Taurus in May 2024, it occurred at the 18th degree of the sign, And the symbol of this degree shows us the image of a woman who is hanging her old bag out of the open window of her room. Such is the picture. And here the key to decoding is that one needs to purify their ego consciousness. That is, in essence, considering that the symbol introduces us to a woman, it emphasizes this bag and in particular the need to cleanse one's consciousness, to free one's mind from old attachments and illusions. This cleansing of perception creates space for a deeper and higher level of awareness in our development, our inner harmony. It gives us the opportunity to go beyond our limitations and achieve new spiritual growth. Thus, we can observe the tendency of our development through certain experiences. And, by the way, I remind you that to understand in which area of life this occurs, you need to know in which house of the horoscope the full moon in Taurus is happening for you. If we combine the information of these degrees, we can see a very deep connection between the cleansing of the inner world and our struggle for survival and cultural differences. Here, it emphasizes to us the importance of working with internal conflicts and limitations is emphasized, as well as the necessity of cleansing and transforming our perception. It is essential to come to the realization and liberation from selfish attachments to avoid destructive manifestations of our aggression and violence in relationships, and instead to reach a level of harmony and balance in any interactions. This is the very balance I mentioned at the beginning regarding how the full moon works as an astrological aspect of our lives and harmonizes a specific area of life. Keep in mind that the waning moon will influence us until December 1st, 2024, and some concluding processes will unfold. During these 2 weeks when we will need to either finish something or achieve results and see the outcome, we look again at the houses of the horoscope where the full moon occurs. We close the period from May 8th to November 15th, 2024. And by the way, if you made any notes of plans, intentions, tasks, or goals during the new moon in Taurus on May 8th, now is the time to return to those notes and compare what was achieved. Now let's look at some key aspects in the sky that are active at the time of the full moon, aside from the transit of Venus. So the first thing I mentioned is the retrograde Uranus in Taurus, a direct participant in this full moon with a difference of 1 degree. It adds elements of surprise, change, and some internal upheavals to this event. Uranus is the planet of revolution, the planet of innovation. And in its retro phase, it directs its energy inward. It makes us reconsider our old beliefs, ideas, and approaches. And when Uranus is also in Taurus, it touches upon, of course, the themes of material values, security, and familiar structures. Retrograde motion pushes us towards a deeper analysis and reevaluation of these aspects. Full moon in Taurus, a culmination in matters of the material world, values, and stability. It is related to the completion of a cycle where it is necessary to put aside some outdated beliefs and approaches regarding finances, resources, and comfort. And this process of transformation becomes more internal, more conscious, simply because Uranus is retrograde. And of course, it can provoke unexpected discoveries, insights, some revelations about our own attachments to the material, about how these attachments limit our personal growth and our freedom. And the main influence of the aspect will manifest in that we may face the necessity of some changes in our financial stability, in our relationship to property and to security. In addition, there may be very sharp, unexpected changes here. They may be unpleasant in the moment, and we may not be ready for them, but over time we understand and realize that they work in our favor. Another participant in this astrological event is the star Algol, and let's take a look at its features. It is located, by the way, 1 degree away from Uranus. And in ancient Greek mythology, it is represented and known as the head of a demon, or the devil's star. Quite a creepy sound, nevertheless dark. And dangerous energies are associated with this star. And it, of course, has special significance in both mythology and astrology. It is Algol that is associated with the myth of Medusa Gorgon because it is located in the constellation of Perseus, where the head of Medusa is located. Myths state that Perseus fought with Medusa, cut off her head, which then became a source of death for those who looked at it. Algol symbolizes these destructive forces associated with violence, death, and demonic powers. In turn, in astrology, Algol is attributed with a strong influence related to pronounced negative traits. So this is a star of violence, fear, destruction, and great personal trials, and there may be moments when we face crises, especially regarding issues of power and control, cruelty, and violence. At the same time, Algol can provide us with powerful transformations precisely through these crises, through insights, and allows us to free ourselves from the past, meaning it gives us the opportunity to be reborn. The energy Tao of this star represents certain extremes. That is, as I said, it is about destruction, about death, but also about purification through struggle and transformation. And it is Algol that serves as a catalyst for personal crises when we confront those parts of ourselves that we would prefer to ignore. Algol symbolizes forces that can manifest through aggression, influence, manipulation, and cruelty. If approached consciously, at some point these forces can be transformed into something more powerful and aware. Naturally, to work through the energies of this star's action, it is essential to engage in conscious acceptance of the dark aspects of one's life, one's sides, one's personality, to use crises only for growth and development through any methods of therapy, self-discovery, various activities that allow one to free themselves from old traumas, and of course the acceptance of power. That is, Algol is related to the theme of strength and authority. Here it is important to learn to use these qualities constructively rather than destructively. In the comments, be sure to share how this aspect with Uranus and Algol plays out for you. In relation to the moon during the full moon in Taurus, I will also be very interested to see how it manifests in your life. Another aspect that is important to consider at the moment of the full moon is that the moon is in a trine with Pluto, which will soon move definitively into a Dahlia just 4 days after the full moon. And the trine, activates very deep processes of transformation in our emotional sphere, providing a very powerful influence on stability and the inner resources of each of us. The aspect contributes to such a deep transformation of personal values, emotional attachments, and the sense of security. And all of this may manifest through the need to reconsider and reevaluate what brings us stability and comfort. And of course, this will bring certain changes in our material and emotional aspects. The trine of Pluto with the moon helps us work through old emotional traumas and fears, opening the way to healthier and more constructive experiences in our lives. This is a time when we can radically change our approach to our own emotions. We can learn to let go of some old attachments and strengthen ourselves from within, our inner resources. In personal relationships, especially in family or close connections, there may arise a desire to understand each other more deeply, to uncover some hidden emotional needs. And all of this will, of course, contribute to the harmonization of relationships over time through awareness. And gradual personal growth occurs as the sun is in Scorpio and there is a full moon in trine with retrograde Neptune in Pisces. This aspect activates strong intuitive creative flows, facilitating our deep inner experiences and processes of self-discovery. This means the aspect enhances the ability to perceive hidden truths, to intuitively understand and penetrate some mystical aspects of our lives. Neptune's influence can blur the boundaries of reality, urging us towards the spiritual realm, while the Sun in Scorpio focuses on hidden motives and transformations of our personal power. Retrograde Neptune during this period can promote re-evaluation of past misconceptions and ideals, giving us a chance to heal emotional wounds and rid ourselves of internal illusions. The aspect that may also create situations where we turn more often to our creative side, cleansing ourselves from old energetic blocks. There may be moments of deeper understanding of each other, especially on an intuitive level. And here it is important to avoid idealization and endowing the partner with unrealistic expectations. Another significant aspect at the time of the full moon is the aspect related to Venus, the ruler of this full moon, which is in a T-square with the North Node. The disharmonious aspect, however, contains a strong potential, creating a tense dynamic aimed at re-evaluating personal relationships, values, and the balance between personal independence and partnership. Venus in Capricorn focuses attention on serious, pragmatic relationships, on the material aspects of love, and may make us reflect on the stability of our connections and their long-term nature. Nevertheless, the square with the nodes compels us to pay attention to the lessons related to our individuality and harmony in relationships with others. Conflicts may arise here between personal independence and the need for compromises with partners. During this period, situations may arise where one must choose between following personal interests and the desire to maintain independence, or preserving balance and harmony in relationships. The T-square stimulates the need for growth and the acceptance of responsibility for one's feelings and actions. It encourages us to make active changes in personal relationships, and they provide such a radical overhaul of the approach to love and partnership. So it is important to catch these energies, learn to balance all personal ambitions and the needs of others, and avoid excessive compromises that may suppress our personal freedom. Now let's consider the actions of the full moon in Taurus for each of the 12 zodiac signs, how it will manifest in your life, and in which areas and directions to look, what to complete, where we will see clarity and culmination. Dear Gemini, the full moon in Taurus is in your 12th house of the horoscope and emphasizes your attention on very deep processes, subconscious aspects of your life, and the mysteries of your personality. In general, the 12th house is the house of completion, the house of closing significant life cycles. This is the house associated with our spirituality, with our limitations, secret, hidden enemies, intuition, creative potential, and the full moon in this house can trigger a process of very deep awareness, cleansing, and completion, providing you with an opportunity for transformation and healing precisely through the process of bringing to light these hidden internal aspects. And of course, subconscious processes will be activated for you here. There will be some uncovered mysteries and secrets, and certain cycles of processes and situations will come to a significant conclusion. Very strong spiritual insights occur here, and intuition works very well. Hidden enemies may manifest here, or a process of self-deception may be created. And in order to work through the energy of this full moon, you need to pay attention to freeing yourself from old burdens, debts, attachments, emotions, and blocks. Here you need to pay attention to reflection and self-analysis. You can work with spiritual practices or consult a specialist. It is very important to listen to your intuition here. overcoming various fears and self-limitations. This way, you will be able to use this energy positively. I wish you success. Subscribe, like, and share this video. Bye-bye.